Hey, what's going on everybody? Remy Sovereign here from RemySovereign.com. Today what I wanted to talk about is yoga and its effectiveness in the treatment of lower back pain. And so I've gotten this question a few times, and I've got it before, where people have asked me what are my thoughts on yoga and is it helpful for someone with lower back pain. Now where I stand on it is just like any other kind of exercise program or any other maybe physical therapy, chiropractic program, is that it's not for everyone. It's not going to be helpful for everyone, but it may be helpful for some. And it's going to depend on the program, type of yoga you're doing, and the cause of whatever the cause of your back pain is, what is your injury, and whatever your pain triggers are. So the thing is though, just today, I kind of popped up online. I kind of was going through my Twitter feed, and I just kind of saw this explosion of yoga with regards to back pain, or being an effective treatment with regards to back pain. And the reason why there's a lot of talk right now with regards to yoga being effective in the treatment of back pain is because there was just a study that was published recently showing that yoga is non-inferior, or is basically, the authors, what they kind of concluded was that yoga is non-inferior to physical therapy in terms of the treatment of lower back pain, or just the reduction of pain or disability with regards to back pain. And so what this study was doing, or what it was titled was, or what it was comparing was people with non-specific chronic lower back pain, and people were divided up into three groups, one being a physical therapy group, one being a yoga group, and then one being kind of more of a self-help group where they were kind of provided with like an education material where they were kind of reading a book with regards to back pain to kind of maybe treat themselves. This was over a 12-week period, and then there was a maintenance phase afterwards. And so I'll kind of show you and pop this up on the computer actually. So here's actually the study. So yoga, so here's the title, Yoga, Physical Therapy, or Education for Chronic Lower Back Pain. And so the purpose or objective was to determine whether yoga is non-inferior to physical therapy for chronic lower back pain. Now, first problem I have with this study is that it's already kind of biased from the beginning. And what they're kind of looking to do is, so they're determining if yoga is non-inferior to physical therapy. To me, it just kind of sounds a little bit more biased, that they're looking to specifically determine, or trying to maybe determine, if if yoga is basically just as effective as physical therapy in the treatment of lower back pain. So for me, it's a little bit biased from the outset. So that's already an issue that I have. But if you look at all over the internet here, this study is being talked about here is the New York Times, back pain, try yoga, kind of talking about the study. But if you also look to Twitter, you can look at some small evidence proving yoga is good for back pain. We look at yoga works as well as physical therapy for back pain. A new study shows yoga might be just as effective as physical therapy to treat chronic back pain. And the problem with this is, like I've always mentioned on this channel, is that everyone needs an individualized program. Everyone has a specific kind of back pain issue or a specific injury, and everyone needs to be treated differently, and everyone needs to have an individualized program. And so when someone sees this, and someone has back pain or a back injury, and they see the kind of the media promoting yoga as an effective method for back pain, people with back pain will start to do yoga. And the problem becomes is that when these people start to do yoga, a lot of them may actually get worse. Some may get better, don't get me wrong. Yoga may be helpful to them, but some individuals may get worse because depending on the poses or the stretches that they're doing, they could be pain triggers for that individual depending on whatever their back pain injury or back pain cause is. So a good example could be someone with a herniated disc in their lower back causing them sciatica, and so bending over causes pain. And so maybe one of the stretches in yoga involves them rounding their low back or rounding their spine, and that could cause a pain trigger, or that can make their injury worse. And so right away, there's the problem, because now we're kind of feeding people the wrong information of how to actually treat themselves. And really what it comes down to is everyone needs an individualized program. So yoga right there, or this kind of media promoting that, in a sense, back pain for back pain being beneficial, it's very general back pain. So everyone's case is specific, like I mentioned. But going back to that study for a second, so like I mentioned, they already had a kind of a bias from the outset, at least I believe, because they were looking to prove that yoga was just as beneficial pretty much as physical therapy. And that's what they ended up kind of concluding. But there's a lot of limitations there, and it comes down to, okay, what is the competence, or how competent are these physical therapists in terms of treating these individuals with back pain? Do they know what they're doing? Because every physical therapist is different. You get some good ones, you get some bad ones. And everyone's going to respond differently kind of to the treatment that they're receiving. Another problem with this is now we're kind of promoting yoga as a really good treatment and almost in a sense better than physical therapy. I don't want to say better, but as an alternative source to physical therapy. But I mean, but when people think that, people may think that they don't need to go to physical therapy, which some may not need to go to physical therapy, but physical therapists, especially a good one, there could be a lot of benefits to going to physical therapy if you get a good physical therapist. So just kind of going back to that media and that narrative of what they're pushing with regards to a lot of these news networks or online media kind of promoting yoga itself as an effective treatment for back pain. So to wrap things up, guys, to kind of wrap this whole video up, the key thing here is that yoga is not for everyone. Some people may have benefits from yoga, some may not. So I can kind of just relate to that, going back to my lower back injury. One of the first things kind of some people recommended for me to try for my back pain was yoga. However, the problem was a lot of the stretches and poses caused me pain, specifically a lot of the flexion-based poses, and even extension-based positions caused me issues as well with regards to my lower back now. But that's why I always stress with regards to the channel, everyone needs an individualized program. Every case is different. Everyone needs to be treated and basically have their own program. These kind of generic programs won't work. Doing something general is not going to work, and everyone's going to be affected differently in terms of what their experience is and what they may get out of that treatment. So with regards to that though, when you see kind of the media promoting stuff like this, and you see these maybe top 10 exercises, or yoga is the best for back pain, or whatever, this exercise is the best for back pain, be very careful, guys, because everyone's best exercise or best treatment is going to be different, and not one is going to be the exact same. So that's the final kind of key point that I wanted to make, guys. And if you're someone that actually has gone through yoga or was recommended to do yoga, and you got better or you got worse with regards to yoga, I'd love to hear about your story, love to hear about your experience, what you kind of went through, and if maybe you're still currently doing that yoga program, or if you maybe immediately discontinued it as soon as you maybe started feeling pain or whatnot. Love to hear about your story, guys. And that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I wish you guys all a successful and productive day, and take care.